Three names now are in nomination.
With their names now in nomination, Senators John Kennedy and Estes Kefauver begin the contest for the number 2 spot on the Stevenson ticket. We now bring you to the floor of the Democratic Convention of 1956, as House Speaker Sam Rayburn presides over the roll call that will select the convention's choice of nominee for the vice presidency. As we join the delegates, the roll call is in progress.
Kefauver gained 4.5, Kennedy 15 from the California delegation.
California, Kefauver, 37.5 votes.
The Kennedy family again, tabulating.
25 votes. Humphrey, 5 votes. And Brown, 1/2 vote.
Indiana and North Carolina remain to be called.
Indiana cast 20 votes for Kefauver, 3.5 for Kennedy, 2.5 absent.
Will Indiana please repeat the tally for the chairman of the delegation?
Indiana cast 20 votes for Kefauver, 3.5 votes for Kennedy, 2.5 vote absent.
Kefauver lost 2, Kennedy gained 1, 686.5 are needed to nominate.
Indiana, Kefauver, 20 votes. Kennedy, 3.5 votes. 2.5 vote absent.
The Tennessee standard is waving, asking for recognition. That means that Gore is about to capitulate to somebody.
Humphrey, 1/2 vote. Gore, 7.5 votes. Kefauver, 9.5 votes. Kennedy, 17.5 votes. No, I didn't. I had this thing.
Will the chairman of the North Carolina delegation, because of the confusion here in front of the chair,
9.5 gain for
repeat that
Kefauver.
tally, please?
Humphrey, 1/2 vote.
17.5 for Kennedy.
Gore, 7.5 votes. Kefauver, 9.5 votes. Kennedy, 17.5 votes.
686.5 needed.
North Carolina, Gore, 7.5 votes. Kefauver, 9.5 votes. Kennedy, 17.5 votes. Humphrey, 1/2 vote.
Watch these standards. There's Tennessee waving for recognition. See who gets recognition.
Convention will be in order, please. Convention will be in order, please.
Senator Magnuson has promised some delegation that they'll get recognition.
The chair understands that the state of Kentucky desires to be recognized.
Kentucky got recognition.
Chairman, the delegation from Kentucky, which has consistently been with the minority all through this convention, enthusiastically joins the majority and changes its vote to John Kennedy.
Brings him closer. 20 more will do it. Look at the standards waving now. 40 more. Kentucky, Maine was waving.
Does
Tennessee.
the state of Tennessee desire recognition?
Mr. Chairman,
Tennessee,
Mr. Chairman, Tennessee respectfully requests the opportunity for candidate Albert Gore to make a brief announcement.
chair recognizes the senator from Tennessee.
15 guesses what this
Mr.
is.
Chairman,
By unanimous consent only. Is there objection? Chair is not.
Mr. Chairman, with thanks to this great free democratic convention, I request that my name be withdrawn in favor of my colleague, Senator Estes Kefauver.
Hello. Surprise. It's only a request. There may be an argument about this. It may take the parliamentarian, Mr. Cannon, to resolve this.
The chairman of the delegation will have to give the vote after polling.
Does Oklahoma desire recognition?
Oklahoma. Mr. Chairman, Oklahoma desires to change its vote from Senator Gore, since he has released us, to Senator Kefauver.
Another surprise. Kefauver
28
signing up.
votes.
Kennedy with 648. Kefauver 551 and a half. Kennedy within striking distance. 579 for Kefauver now. 579 and a half. Look at the confusion down there. There's Clement of Tennessee.
Please. Does Minnesota desire recognition?
Mr. Chairman, the great junior senator of Minnesota asks that Minnesota cast its entire 30 votes for the next vice president of the United States, his good friend, Senator Estes Kefauver.
Again for Kefauver. This is beautiful strategy. If these people have worked this out, it's something we haven't seen in a long time. Kennedy family, Mrs. the wife of the senator, his sister next to her.
Tennessee's already been elected.
Kennedy was in 40.5 votes.
Just a moment now, just a moment.
And Kefauver has
Does
suddenly come up.
Tennessee desire recognition again?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Gore made his announcement, but we wanted the opportunity to officially request permission to change Tennessee's 32 votes from her distinguished junior senator to her distinguished senior senator, Estes Kefauver.
And that makes it official. All 32 votes picked up there by Kefauver.
Does the state of Missouri desire recognition?
Mr. Chairman.
The delegate, allow the chair to hear what's going on if you don't want to yourself. Delegate from Missouri.
Mr. Chairman, the state of Missouri desires at this time to change its vote to 37 votes for Senator Estes Kefauver.
Another considerable gain for Kefauver.
Kefauver has 665. Takes 686 and a half.
The chair does not have the remainder of the Missouri vote yet.
And one vote for Senator Hubert Humphrey.
This is one of the closest ballots in years.
Well, will the delegates be quiet
Certainly
for
the
a
most
moment?
exciting.
We have Missouri.
Kennedy 648, Kefauver 663. Kefauver 20.
Does any other state or territory
The tally system is broken down on the floor. Only those keeping their own private poll know what the
Does any
totals
other
are.
state or territory desire recognition? Well, I've recognized Tennessee twice. Where is that out there? Way out there. Does the state of Michigan desire recognition?
This could be
The
important.
state of
Hold on.
Michigan proudly and happily cast its entire 44 votes for the next Vice President of the United States, Senator Estes Kefauver.
662. I don't think that quite does it. Only 4 votes.
The chair recognizes the
Thank you.
delegate from South Carolina.
That gave Kefauver a slight gain.
Mr. Chairman, South Carolina cast its 20 votes for Senator Kennedy.
20 votes. How close can you get? It's 668 now for Kennedy. No, 666. 666 for both of them.
Does the delegate from Florida
20 and a half votes for
desire
either candidate.
recognition?
Mr. Chairman, Florida now casts 17 1/2 sunshine votes for Senator Kefauver, 10 1/2 for Senator Kennedy.
Now, the reading clerk cannot understand what the delegates are saying. It looks like you could be quiet for a few moments. Florida. Florida.
Mr. Chairman, Florida repeats. Florida now casts 17 1/2 sunshine votes for Senator Kefauver, 10 1/2 for Senator Kennedy.
Here's where a tremendous responsibility rests with the chairman. It may depend upon which delegation
desire
gets recognition.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Illinois would like to change in its vote. Kennedy, 54 1/2. Kefauver, 9 1/2.
There's Mrs. Senator Kefauver and Senator's wife, Nancy.
The chair must call on Florida again because there was so much noise the clerk couldn't hear the last part of the vote.
Mr. Chairman, Florida is always glad to have attention focused on us. We proudly vote 17 1/2 sunshine votes for Senator Kefauver, 10 1/2 for Senator Kennedy.
Does Pennsylvania desire recognition?
This could do it.
Mr. Chairman, Pennsylvania wishes to cast its entire 74 votes for Estes Kefauver.
Isn't over yet. 676 and 1/2. That only changed a few votes. But everyone counts now.
Does Missouri desire recognition again?
Mr. Chairman, only for the purpose of correcting the tabulation of Missouri's votes. Through a miscomputation of the votes of the delegates, Missouri casts 36 votes for Senator Estes Kefauver. 1 1/2 votes for Senator John Kennedy, and 1/2 votes for Senator Hubert Humphrey.
Does Colorado desire recognition?
Colorado! Colorado cast 20 votes for Kefauver.
Color register shows.
Desire recognition.
Mr. Chairman, 80 1/2 now.
Iowa, the doggone state, desires to cast its 24 votes for Senator Kefauver.
The District of Columbia.
The District of Columbia wishes to cast its 6 votes for the next president of Vice President of the United States, Estes Kefauver.
I think that makes a difference of 3.
Does Montana desire recognition?
686.
Mr.
Half vote
Chairman,
short.
the Montana delegation wishes to change its vote to 15 for Senator Kefauver and 1 for Senator Kennedy.
California has 50 votes for Estes Kefauver and 18 votes for Senator John Kennedy.
Does Alabama desire recognition?
Mr. Chairman, Alabama wishes to make the following change in its vote. Kefauver 6, Kennedy 16 1/2, Gore 3, Clements 1/2.
As we said, the tally down there has broken down. So the delegations have not been quite certain where they stand. But certainly, according to our figures, the Democratic Party has a new vice presidential candidate. He is Senator Estes Kefauver.
Ohio wishes to change its vote and cast 57 votes for Estes Kefauver. 1 delegate absent.
What was the last of the statement? One delegate absent. What is the state way back down?
57 votes for Kefauver.
1 absent. Well, that. Does Florida desire recognition again?
Mr. Chairman, Florida desires to cast 23 1/2 votes for Senator Kefauver, 3 1/2 votes for Senator Kennedy.
Well, these are sort of what you might call extra measure votes now. The bandwagon psychology is in force,
Oklahoma.
and one delegation after another will demand recognition, and these tallies and votes will be changed.
Utah.
The great state of Utah wishes to cast its 12 votes for Senator Kefauver.
Senator Kefauver becomes the vice presidential nominee in one of the most thrilling wire-to-wire finishes that any convention has seen in years. It'll take us a long time, I suppose, David and Bill, to figure out just precisely how it happened, whether it was by chance that it depended upon the delegations whom Speaker Rayburn recognized, or whether it was a beautiful and masterful piece of strategy worked out by 3 or 4 delegations, or whether it was circumstance precise, or whether Senator Kennedy had simply reached the maximum of his strength and couldn't go a bit farther.
Chairman, Wyoming would like to cast its 14 votes for Senator Kefauver.
The tally clerk, we're sure, will be some time getting the final and official figure.
West Virginia.
There's our high-reach camera picking up Senator Estes Kefauver being escorted into the Stockyard Inn adjacent to the amphitheater. This must come as a tremendous moment to this senator from Tennessee who has tried and has lost and failed before, who has sort of stumbled out of past conventions, having not quite made it. Now he comes back in as the vice presidential nominee.
Cast his 26 votes for Estes Kefauver.
Does Maine desire recognition?
Mr. Chairman, Maine cast its 14 votes for Estes Kefauver.
Bill, what's your intuitive feeling about what happened?
Well, I'm convinced that the Kefauver forces...
Excuse me, Bill, let's interrupt. Here he is coming back again. Our camera has just picked him up. A close shot, Senator Kefauver coming into the Stockyard Inn, followed by a whole group of his aides and supporters and admirers and newsmen, photographers, reporters. Presumably, we may expect Senator Kefauver to enter the auditorium in a few moments.
The Virgin Islands.
Mr. Chairman, for the sake of expediency, the Virgin Islands decide to change their vote to Estes Kefauver.
NBC's Esther Van Wagoner Tufte is down beside Mrs. Kefauver. So let's go down now to Esther Tufte.
Will the convention be in order? If there is no objection, the chair will recognize Senator John Kennedy of Massachusetts.
Esther, this is Huntley and TV1. By any chance, can you hear me?
It's your greatest,
There you are.
your husband's greatest asset to the voters. Well, I think it's sincerity with the people, and it's the hardest worker I've ever seen. Will you campaign with him? Tennessee fashion. I doubt if I will be able to, Esther. I haven't been campaigning this year, and I'll probably continue as I've been doing. And I will help wherever I can. Are your children watching television right now, do you suppose? Yes, they're down on the farm, Tennessee, and watching.
Excuse us, Esther. Now back to the rostrum.
They will be. I don't suppose that the Dixon children...
Senator John Kennedy of Massachusetts.
Ladies and gentlemen of this convention, I want to take this opportunity first to express my appreciation to Democrats from all parts of the country, north and south, east and west, who have been so generous and kind to me this afternoon. I think that it proves, as nothing else could prove, what a strong and united party the Democratic Party is. Secondly, I think what has happened today bears out the good judgment of Governor Stevenson in deciding that this issue should be taken to the floor of the convention. Because I believe that the Democratic Party will go from this convention far stronger for what we have done here today. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, recognizing that this convention has selected a man who has campaigned in all parts of the country, who has worked entirely for the party, who will serve as an admirable running mate to Governor Stevenson, I hope that this convention will make Estes Kefauver's nomination unanimous. Thank you. I move that we suspend the rules and make the nomination of Estes Kefauver by acclamation.
Those in favor of the motion will vote aye. No, no. The ayes have it. And now it is my pleasure to present the next Vice President of the United States for a moment.
Quite a comparison to that night in 1952 when Senator Paul Douglas and Kefauver were trying to get recognition from the same chairman, Sam Rayburn, couldn't. It was in the middle of a roll call. Kefauver that night was humiliated and chastised. Now this delegation pays him this ovation, rises to its feet to accept. Jack Kennedy looks mighty tired. Here's our ultra-portable camera once again. There's Mrs. Kefauver. Beautiful red-haired lady. Senator John Kennedy of Massachusetts standing by, waiting to greet his rival. The two of them came down to the wire, nose and nose. Here's our ultra-portable camera once again. You can see the tall figure of the senator from Tennessee. He towers over those around him. Making his way through the crowd. He's having difficulty getting into the amphitheater. There he goes. Mrs. Kefauver and the senator. Greeted by Chairman Rayburn. Making his way to the rostrum.
It takes a long time to get to the rostrum to acknowledge cheers, give a victory smile.
Mrs. Kefauver was born in Scotland, I believe, wasn't she, David?
I think that's true.
As I recall the story, he met her over here. She had to go back to Scotland, and he went back to Scotland to get her.
He's always been very determined, and still is. Since 1952 because Kefauver, whom they were loyal to, was denied the nomination then.
I was talking to some of the California delegates the other night, David, and as you know, California was all for Kefauver in 52, and as they said the other night, sure, sometimes he appears to be awkward. He seems to make mistakes in his campaigns, but yet we love him.
He does seem to inspire some kind of very fierce loyalty among his followers. Thank you.
Senator Kefauver desires to say a word.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the convention, I don't know how all of you feel, but I sure am tired. Back a long time ago, I went to the University of Tennessee, and I was on the track team. I've been in a lot of races, but I never have been in one like this. And I never have been in a race with a finer, more wonderful contender. Senator Jack Kennedy is one of the fine young statesmen with an outstanding record already, and to be able to contend and finally win against him, I appreciate very much. But ladies and gentlemen, every member that I had to contend against, all of these 8 or 9 men who were placed in nomination, every one of them are able, capable of performing this office, I think, better than I. I want to express my appreciation to Senator Kennedy for his graciousness in moving that the nomination be unanimous. I'm very grateful to all of you who supported me.